Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another organizing video to share with you, and we're going to be working on this trusty dusty guy behind me, our refrigerator. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share with you guys the materials we're using. It's just a couple of things that we have around our house already to organize our refrigerator and make it function a little bit better for us. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay friends, so when you are organizing your refrigerator, the very first step you want to do is go ahead and pull everything out and get rid of any old food or things you're not using or eating anymore. I will tell you guys that I totally accidentally cleaned out our refrigerator of like any leftovers we had. This morning I was not even thinking that I'd be filming this video today, but as luck would have it, here I am. So unfortunately you won't see me pulling out our leftover food, but I am going to get rid of some condiments that need to go and kind of just clean out some things. So I'm going to share with you guys what I'm going to use to organize our refrigerator. I really only want a couple of like more functional things in there, so I'm going to be using these two bins from the Dollar Tree. It does not say what size they are, but I would say they're maybe like an 11 by 17 size, maybe a little bit, actually, probably like an 11 by 14. 10 by 14? Somewhere in there. So they're a pretty good size, and I really like these bins because they have a nice place for me to add a label to them as well, which I'm going to be doing and making my own labels. Some ribbon, a pair of scissors of course, and then these labels that I got at the Dollar Tree as well. These are the same ones that I used in our pantry organization. So all I do to make the labels out of these little gift tag label things is I just punch a hole and add some ribbon and tie that onto the bin that I'm going to use and that I want labeled. So I like these because they're different sizes. They're a nice like kind of beige color, so they're pretty neutral and they work well with a lot of different areas, and you get 30 in this pack. So even if I need to redo these, you know, every month or every few weeks, or I'm changing out what we're using these bins for, I can do that and just adjust the labels really easily and really cost effectively. So for this project, I actually didn't spend any money because we had all of these things here at home already, but this would be about $5 if you were purchasing all of your supplies from the Dollar Tree, because a pack of labels, two bins, a pair of scissors, and some ribbon, bam, $5, and you're good to go. So let's go ahead and take a look in our fridge and see what we are working with. Okay guys, so here's the inside of our refrigerator, and like I said, I've already cleaned out a lot of what was in here before, so you may look at this and you're like, oh, it's really not that bad. And it's not that bad, I'll be honest, because I did just clean out our leftovers. However, I am going to go ahead and get rid of anything that we're not using or eating anymore from both our door storage here where our condiments are, and then also we have like a couple of juices that I'm not drinking, and I think that may be about it, but any other things within the refrigerator here. And I'm also going to wipe it down a little bit with a sponge and some dish water and dish soap. Yeah, water and soap. So let's go ahead and get a jump on. condiments is now organized, cleaned out. I threw away a couple of things that we either just weren't using. I also took out something that was not even open yet. And was in here for no reason because it's not open yet. So that is everything so far for our fridge, or for the door. So let's go ahead and get to the main compartment and work on that next. Okay, so here's really like the meat of our refrigerator here. So a couple things I know I want to toss right away. There's like a soup that's back in like the back corner here on the top shelf, and a couple of juices that we're just not using or drinking at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and chuck those, unfortunately, which is a little bit wasteful, but like I said, they've been in here for a while and we're not using them. So once I do that, then we will get to the organizing and adding in the extra bins, and I'll tell you guys what I'm going to use those bins for and what their labels will be. Okay, so I've cleaned everything out, so now I'm just going to play around with the placement of our bins before I label them and get the food into them. So let's take a look here. So I want our bins to be really easy to go reach in here and grab when we're looking for something without really disrupting like the flow of the rest of the refrigerator. So for instance, I would not want to store a bin like sideways because it'd be really hard to reach behind there and pull different things out that we're looking for. So I think stacking them one shelf on top of the other, just like this, is going to be perfect for us and will meet our needs really, really well. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the items back into the refrigerator now, and we'll talk about what we're going to use these bins for. Okay, so all of the other food is back into our refrigerator. The food that I did not put back into the fridge is going to end up in these two bins. The first bin I'm going to go ahead and use for lunch items. So I'm going to be prepping my lunch as well as my husband's lunches really well and probably quite in advance now that I'm going to be working full-time again. So I'm going to use this bin to store those items in. So as far as like things that are really easy to grab for lunches, so things like our little pudding cups here, as well as when I prepped meals. So like for instance, when I prep salads for myself for the week, I'll probably just stick them in here and be able to grab them each morning and be out the door in no time. The next bin, the second one down here, I'm going to use for prepped items or dinners. So oftentimes, especially with my old work schedule, my husband would come home and he would be home like by himself for dinner, and I would like tell him what I had made if I had made something ahead of time, or I'd have a little list on the refrigerator. But this is going to be for prepped meal items, so anything that we can use for dinners. If he wants to come home and eat something different for lunch than like what I had prepped or packed for him, he can totally do that. So having our prepped items here will also help us to see what we have to eat through right now and what we have as leftovers. So I'm going to go ahead and make those labels and add them to the bins and then get those foods into these containers. Okay guys, so here are our bins. This one, it says dinner and leftovers, and this guy here says lunch items. I just tied them to the back, actually like below where you would grab the bin, so kind of below the little handle part, and I tied them in a bow so that they'd be easy to adjust and change when necessary. So let's go ahead and plop these into the fridge. Okay guys, so there you have it. That is our refrigerator organization. Super easy, really quick and simple to do, but it'll really help us and be super effective. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Be sure to share with me any tips that you have and how you organize your refrigerator. And I would love to read them, and I will talk to you soon. Be sure to like the video if you've enjoyed it for more organizing videos, and don't forget to subscribe to see me here next time. Have an amazing day, friends, and happy organizing.